I'm just going to say it. This idea of work-life balance, it's total bullshit. Yeah, I said it. Because tell me this, who actually feels balanced right now? Are you nailing every part of your life? Keeping your work, home, and family all perfectly even? Exactly. Nobody is. But we're all out here trying, right? We're trying to hold everything together. We're trying to please everyone, trying to stay productive, trying to keep our businesses alive, trying to be good parents, partners, and friends. And honestly, aren't you exhausted? We've been fed this lie that if we would just manage our time better or get more organized, then suddenly everything's going to feel calm and balanced. But life doesn't actually work like that. Life comes in seasons, and sometimes your personal world needs more of you. And sometimes your business demands everything you've got. And trying to keep it perfectly even all the time, that's what's burning us all out. Hi, I'm Cheri Doren. I'm a real world behind the chair hairstylist, a salon owner, and the creator of the Defined Stylist Method. In my almost 4 decades behind the chair, I have grown successful clienteles in vastly different markets to 6 figures, and I want to help you be successful no matter what market you're in or where you live. Let me tell you how I learned this lesson about work-life balance the hard way. Years ago, I was trying to do everything. I was raising 2 very active kids, working 55 hours a week behind the chair, helping my husband build his business, and volunteering in my community. I don't even know how I functioned. I didn't even have time to polish my toenails for like 2 years. Literally, true story. I'd wake up, go full speed all day, come home, make dinner, do the home life stuff, go to bed, completely drained, and still feel like I hadn't done enough. And from the outside, it looked like I was killing it. People were always so impressed with all that I was doing. It became my identity, the one who had it all together and got it all done. But inside, I was one day away from a full-blown breakdown and from totally screwing up everything that I was trying to prove to everyone that I could do. I'm going to share a story with you that I have literally never spoken out loud before. I was juggling my salon, my clientele, and doing my volunteer work during my salon hours. Once again, I was double booked back to back, taking every person that I could possibly take, and I was completely overwhelmed. But I convinced myself it was normal, so for me, it was normal. I had a client come in who I had done color on a few times before. She sits down and I say, "What are you thinking about doing today?" She goes, "Oh, just like we've been doing." I'm like, "Wonderful, great." I'll go in the back and I look at her record. I see her color is a level 6. I mix it up and I start applying it globally to her roots. Now, this is the sweetest client that I have ever had in my chair. And she goes, "Oh, are we going to put it on that way today, Cheri?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And she's like, "Oh, I guess I've just got so much gray that we can't do it in the foils anymore." I had been low lighting her hair to camouflage her gray. At that moment, I was completely horrified. I was literally dying because in my rush to get her color mixed and juggle all the other things that I had been doing that day, I hadn't looked at what technique I had used in the past. This was a major screw up. And I turned hot from head to toe and I felt like I was going to puke. I don't like admitting my mistakes, and to cover my butt, I said, "Oh yeah, well, I thought we had talked about that." And she said, "Oh yeah, we did. And we did talk about doing it in the future, and that's fine if that's what you think. We can do it starting that way today." And I had talked to her about it. It just isn't what we had been doing. Now, literally, if this had been any other client, that might have been the last time I ever saw her, but this woman trusted me so much and is so sweet and unassuming that she wouldn't dare say a word. And thank God she is still my client to this day. This is literally the first time I have ever told this story out loud. I remember sitting at work after that horrible day and just staring at the wall and thinking, Cheri, you cannot keep living like this. You cannot keep working like this. I'm too busy to even pay attention to what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. And that's when it hit me. This whole idea of trying to balance it all was actually what was breaking me. Because let me tell you this, trying to balance life and work and juggling too many things are two very different things. Life isn't split in neat little compartments. There's no magic formula where you give 50% to work and 50% to life and everything just works out. It doesn't happen that way. What I've learned now and what I teach inside my program, the Defined Stylist Method, is that it's not about balance. It's about alignment. When you're aligned with your values, your goals, and your energy, you stop fighting yourself. You stop needing that validation from everyone else. You keep your sanity and you stop feeling like you're constantly failing at something. You stop taking on the wrong things and you stop taking on too much. You stop letting life run over you. And instead, you start responding to what life is asking of you in that moment. If this is resonating with you, I'd like to invite you to hit that like and subscribe to my channel where I talk about finding alignment and how to create boundaries as a recovering people pleaser. Because let me tell you, it's a long journey to recover from being like this. But I want to tell you this. So fast forward to just these last couple of months. I've been in one of those intense seasons again. I was grinding away to get my new workshop ready, the one I've been teaching in beauty schools. And there was a deadline and I had so much writing on this. I was really busy at the salon, and at the same time, my personal life was very, very full. There were things going on with my family, with home, and with my life that needed my attention too. And in the past, this would have been the perfect storm. I would have gone into overdrive, skipped sleep, and ignored my own needs. I would have pushed through until I crashed, but this time I didn't. I caught myself because I used one of my core tenets from the Defined Stylist. Stay in alignment, not in overdrive. Instead of trying to make everything look balanced, I got really intentional. Every day after my little breakdown, I asked myself, what actually needs my attention today? What can wait until tomorrow? And most importantly, where do I need to give myself grace? And what do I need to let go of? And you know what? I got that workshop done and I hit my deadline. I did beautiful work on my clients and I didn't lose myself in the process. I even polished my toenails. There was no burnout, there was no guilt, and there was no pretending everything was perfect. There was just presence. So here's the truth. You cannot control the seasons of your life, but you can decide how you move through them. Some seasons are meant for growth and hustle. Some are meant for rest and recovery, and both are valid. When you let go of the fantasy of perfect balance and you start living with alignment, you create space for both your work and your life, and you stop trying to be everything to everyone, and you start showing up as yourself. And that's when everything starts to feel lighter. So if your life feels upside down right now, breathe and ask yourself, what is the most important thing in this season? And then give yourself permission to go all in there. Because when you start living from alignment instead of chasing balance, you don't have to choose between your career and your sanity. You get to have both. Does this hit home for you? Awesome. Do you know someone else who's burning out trying to do it all? Or is it you? Share this with them. And if you want to find out even more about learning how to stay aligned during crazy times, watch my video that pretty much broke me down and made me cry in my own video, because we're all figuring out this together. And it's okay if your version of balance doesn't look balanced at all. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I want to keep having these real conversations about what it actually takes to build a fulfilling career and a life that feels good. Because it is your life and it is your career, and you can define it your way. I'll see you in the next video.